Welcome back.
Nick and Lex here.
Hey everyone.
How is it going, everyone? So tonight we're gonna speak about Snow White.
Yes.
We've decided to watch all the Disney movies.
All the Disney classic movies.
Right.
So there's a list that we found somewhere of 61 movies that are considered classic by Disney standards. Right. You know, so there's not all Disney movies chronologically in order, as we found out.
Yeah, and then they're all on Disney Plus except one, and I don't know which one, but we listed them. It was
music.
The one that was during World War II, and Disney did make a movie. And it was during World War II, but that was, I think, kind of like too hard to make. But yeah, so it's amazing. Like, I didn't even know that Disney had so many movies.
I know. So this is series 1. This is the very first video that we're ever making of this series.
Totally. And we never have scripts, we always improvise our videos. So we just watched the movie. And first of all, I thought it was from 20-something. It's from 1937.
The very first Disney movie ever made.
And while we were watching it, I was like, oh my God, this does feel a little like German. The music and the dress that Snow White was wearing. And it is like based on a German fairy tale from the Brüder Grimm, the Brother Grimm. So I was kind of right. Yeah. So I'd seen the movie once as a kid, and you'd seen it many times. Right?
Many times. This was a movie that I really deeply loved when I was, I don't know, probably 3-4 years old, maybe 5. I was so obsessed with it that my parents got me a Snow White costume. I would not take it off. It was a thing. I would leave it on, and I guess they had to trick me to shower and then wash it while I was in there. I don't know, but I remember not wanting to take it off and asking them to change my name officially to Snow White. So I would not respond to anything that was not Snow White. If they said Alexia, I was like, and then they would be like, Snow White. I'm like, yes,
that is
Mommy.
So sweet. So for how long did this go on?
I don't know. I mean, I was a kid and I do have memories of this, but also like what my parents have told me.
So right now, how do you feel having watched it in your adolescence?
Yeah. So now as an
adult,
I mean, it was obviously different, especially because graphics have changed dramatically since then. But certain scenes, I remember like the scene when she was in the forest. That was so scary to me, and it was so realistic the way the twigs were tugging at her, and the music made it so dramatic, which is what I'm noticing right now. It was the music that was making me afraid. Also the visuals, but it wasn't that bad. There was no like.
I mean, I don't know, because I remember seeing some Disney movies that really disturbed me when I was a kid. Like, I think Sword in the Stone. There was a dark period that when Disney would release more
you've told me
adult-oriented stuff, like the Black Cauldron, and then movies like The Black Hole, and then The Wizard of Oz 2, which we are gonna watch. But this is not part of the. I mean, Wizard of Oz 2 is not part of this 61 Disney.
And we'll leave the link to the list that we're following if you guys happen to want to follow along with us. That would be super fun.
But we'll watch it. I think we should watch The Black Hole and also The Wizard of Return to Oz. Return to Oz is the second, and it's just creepy something.
Yeah. But this movie, like, what did you think about it?
So
let's talk about
when we started right now. I was like, I don't remember anything. Of course, I know all the basic, like, about the dwarves,
the premise,
and the hi ho, but I'd seen it only in German. The apple, I remember there was the queen, but I always thought it was mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah, that's like
and she says
it's a thing, right?
Yeah, it's like this. They say it's like one of the Mandela, and not Mandela effect. So, but she says magic mirror on the wall, but I thought mirror, mirror. And even in German, I think it's Spiegel, Spiegel an der Wand. I don't know.
You should check it out.
I just, I was just amazed. Now, obviously, this is not VHS. I mean, I saw it in VHS, and it's a
Me too.
1937 movie, but we saw it in 4K resolution, and I was just baffled. I kept saying, "Is this like remastered?" And I don't think so. I mean, of course, when you pump it up to DVD and then Blu-ray and then 4K, I mean, it's gonna look better and the frames
Yeah.
and everything. But the colors were amazing. Sometimes it would look when Snow White was moving or the prince, it's almost like they shot it on camera and then they kind of sketched it out because it was so real, the
The
movement.
movement was yeah, of everything. Even the animals had
Oh
amazing
my
animation, and
god.
it's just like we said several times throughout the film, I can't believe this is the first Disney movie ever. And
It's so real.
like you said,
Because
the colors and the way that they like did that whole thing is
it looked so human
amazing.
like, and then the dwarves looked like cartoons and the animals. But and then I think they changed that in other movies. I think in Pinocchio and like Alice in Wonderland, or I don't know
Mhm.
which the second is the second one Pinocchio that we're gonna watch, or Dumbo.
Um
There is a list, so we don't really know the order now, but we will fill you in,
yeah.
But I just thought it was incredible. Like you said when we were watching it, it's very musical. Everything when something moves has like a sound to it, like
It's very
when they walk down
yeah.
the stairs or something happens. And also it's very there's a lot of rhyme in the movie, like they
Mhm.
rhyme like the sentences even when they're not singing.
Yes, the
I love
words
that.
and the dialogue is often rhymed just to
Hmm.
make it musical, to make it memorable also, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I like that there was several times throughout the movie lessons for the kids, clean your room,
Wash
do
your
it
hands.
well, you don't sweep it under the rug, like
Yes.
wash your hands
I
and
love that whole
don't
sequence.
lie, don't
Yeah.
say that something's not true because
Yeah.
then I'll call you out on it and I'll say,
Hmm.
"Okay,
Yeah,
show me that you washed
I
your
love
hands."
the personality of the seven dwarfs that were, and we just went on IMDb. If you want to check that out, it's very interesting.
Mhm.
It's like never ending. There's so much trivia, but it was they used 8 songs in the movies, but they did record 25.
Mhm.
All seven dwarfs were based on real people,
Yes.
and they had different names because they thought it was too modern to
Mhm.
a few names. But I love that even like the dwarf, the angry one. What was it?
Grumpy.
Grumpy. He
Mhm.
even redeemed himself at the end. Like he got more
Every
emotional and soft. And when he got the kiss, he was
Yes.
like, "Oh God,
Yes. I feel like everyone developed throughout the movie
yes."
because of her. She was such an inspiring role model to them and
Hmm.
she really helped them just get better. I feel like they all grew a little bit and learned a little bit from
Yeah.
her. And then obviously with the witch there's the lesson of jealousy. She comes up and she's jealous and then what
And look
happens?
what happened to her. And even I was like, I didn't remember that she died because she's like, "I'm gonna squish you all, break your bones." It's very. Also noticed that the movie just has themes that are very scary and like I'm gonna like bring me her heart and
I
stuff like that. I
know.
just noticed that they don't do
That's
that
true.
anymore, but I like it. And we saw some trivia that people actually wet their pants in that
In the
scene
theater, in the
in the
forest
forest
scene,
because it must have been scary for people that had never seen an
kids, it said
animated.
kids had like
Yeah,
problems, but who
but
knows?
imagine, as mean kids had never seen an like an animated film like that. It must have been like magic. Like
Hmm.
that's why we want you to guys let us know how old you were when you watched this. Were you even alive? My mom wasn't alive. My
Hmm.
dad wasn't alive when
Yeah.
this movie came out. So I think most of all of us, I think, watched this either in our I don't know later, not
Yeah.
in the
But
theater.
like my grandma who's
Oh
still
yeah,
here, she
she is
probably watched it
98.
in the movies,
Hmm.
or maybe since she lived in like a little very small town of Mexico, there was not the possibility of going to the movies. But
Hmm.
um I'm sure she watched it when she was very young,
Yeah.
compared to everyone else. So, but yeah, please share your experience. This was a wonderful film, and I love that Nick loved it so much. He was so excited about it, and he said, "Wow, I'm so excited to watch all the other ones." And
Hmm.
they,
Now I want
um,
to watch all of them. I
they
was like, that's what I said
they
when.
do really give you that like sense of just, I don't know, it feels warm.
Yes.
And Disney was full of creativity and full of just magic. You know, they were
Yes.
really bringing magic and
I know
wonder.
the one I remember because we had it, and this was actually quite funny because we had that movie. My mom brought it
Mm-hmm.
when they went to the U.S. and they brought it home. It was Return of the Jedi
Okay.
and Jungle Book, and
Ooh.
they were English. So all these two movies, I would always watch them in English. And I
Mm.
didn't understand English, but I learned the songs and I learned the music. So Jungle Book for me is
That's
one of
gonna
my
be a good
favorite. I think
one.
that's from the 60s or the
Mm-hmm.
50s. And we've seen it once. Remember, we saw it at your dad's, and I love the music in that one. And it's very short. It's I think it's almost under
These
an
are all going
hour.
to be super short,
Yeah,
you know? And
it's like
usually we'll
watching an
watch an
episode.
episode of Succession or True Detective or
Yeah,
something, and it's like, let's do
and
this
the
instead.
reward
Let's.
is so much bigger, when you watch a Disney movie. And yes, I know that at the end they kind of get not as good, but we'll see. We'll rate everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this one
Oh, we're rating. Oh,
um
wow.
like, I
Okay.
don't know if we should do
No,
this,
no,
but
no. This is good. I
yeah,
like it. I like it. But now I'm on the
now
spot.
that we're already like, yeah, on the spot, but I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 because
Oof.
just the animation is so fluent, the music was beautiful, the story was beautiful, like the dwarves were the animation was just like, it was so groundbreaking, this movie,
Mm-hmm.
that I want to give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, because I don't know if it's gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give it a 9 out of 10 because there's
I'm
nothing that I
going with a
didn't like.
9.5.
But why?
Just because I want to like save my tens a little bit,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I do. I'm right now trying to think of maybe any other movie that
It's
in my
because
head
I
could get
have.
a little bit better, and I
Mhm.
know of a few already.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I
mean, once we
just,
get to the 90s, I
but
remember
considering
Aladdin.
that it was the first Disney movie ever,
That's why I want to give
considering
it a 10 out of
that it
10. I think this
took
was
so
like a
much effort.
masterpiece. This is like Citizen Kane. This is like 12 Angry Men. This is a
Mm-hmm.
masterpiece. This, like, I don't know if I'm sure they did top it because it's Disney, but
Mm-hmm.
at the time this must have been insane to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
And I love that also, like, so Pinocchio's next, Dumbo, and then
Fantasia. You guys are,
Fantasia.
several of you are excited about Fantasia.
Yes,
That was
the
one of my
music.
favorite movies
Hmm.
growing up.
And then once we get to to Alice, which was in the 40s, I remember Alice in Wonderland, which is a very psychedelic film,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait. I can't wait to
I'm
do
so
this. It's such a good
excited.
idea. I love that we're doing this, and this is, it's not like we're not professional reviewers, but it's just, I think we want to talk about
We
what we
love
felt.
movies, and we know you guys love movies because whenever we do lives it always ends up in movies. And when I did my marathon my raffle marathon winner video, I mentioned doing movie reviews. You guys were all over it.
Oh,
And then
cool.
today we decided to do this project, and we're
Yeah,
like,
and I
let's
love
share
your
it.
shirt.
I know.
So this trivia is awesome. At so Alexia's dad's birthday is on the 16th
Of
of
October.
October, and it's literally in 2023. Disney turned 100 years old, and this is what
On
this
October
says
16th,
on your
2023.
dad's birthday. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
love
if he
that.
knows that. I'll have to
We
check.
should tell
He
him.
probably does. He's a Disney
Yeah, but let us know.
maniac.
Let us
I was a
know.
Disney baby,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
both of my parents
Worked at
worked
Disney.
at Disney, and like, so I
Wow, that
grew
is
up
so
there.
cool.
Yeah.
You're a Disney baby.
Yeah.
That is so
So
cool.
yeah, let us know what you guys think. Give us any trivia, any thoughts on this movie. How did you feel when you first watched it? What do you know about it that you want to share with us? Do you like this video? Would you like to see more?
One thing before you end,
Yes.
because I think we're leaving. I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite scene?
Oh, brother.
Because I loved that also the
Oh.
pacing of the movie. It had great scenes.
Yes.
But what was your favorite?
My favorite one was, and actually there was something in the trivia about this, when they started singing Hi Ho and they start forming a line to go, and they all end, they're all moving with the left foot first. And there was such a pattern, and with the music and how it was going, that I was just mesmerized and just paying that much attention to detail. I paid attention to so much of the detail, but that scene for me was
And I read about
amazing.
it in the trivia. The guy, the animator, was like, "It took me a month to do
Hmm.
this, and it didn't even last 1 minute."
But I noticed it,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and that's why when
yeah.
I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, wow, this took so much work. There was also other little details that I mentioned, like on her coffin. It said Snow White. It was carved in wood. I never noticed that. But what was your favorite
So
scene?
I have like three moments that I loved, like that was so original and that I've never seen in
Okay.
another movie.
Uh
Like
huh.
when she's singing into the well,
Oh yeah.
and you can see the reflection of her voice
And
and
then
the
it
echo.
echoes.
That was very unique. I've never seen that before in
Mm-hmm.
any movie.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and then the second one, I think, is the whole sequence when they're cleaning and wiping and dusting. That was the musical cues with that
Yes.
was just amazing,
Yeah.
you know. And also the other one, I have to give it to the way they just animated the when she turns into
Oh yeah.
the witch, but
Yes.
before, like when there's a scream of fear,
Yes.
and
The
I
whole
was like,
potion. That's so
I was
true.
so
I like that.
immersed when she described all that, you know, to make
That's
the apple.
yeah.
That was just insane. And when
Yeah.
she like leaves on that little, like, what is it, like a little boat
Yeah.
or a
Like a
banga,
canoe
a
or
canoe,
something. Yeah.
that was animated. That literally also looked like a real movie. And then also when she's running away, when they come back to rescue Snow White, she runs up the hill. That literally looked like footage.
Yeah.
That didn't look like an
Yeah,
animation.
you're
It's
right.
crazy. So
You're
I
right.
think the
That
whole movie was just mind-boggling
mhm.
for 1937. You know.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. This is a huge, huge accomplishment, and look at what it led to, you know, and had they known. Um, and yeah, it's amazing that now all of these movies are available at this quality, and of course some of them have been remade, and you know,
Mhm.
whether you agree with that or not, but it's these stories are timeless in a way,
Mhm.
but also at the same time, no, because so many of the things that were placed in the movie today could not fly. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
lines in the movie, I don't know,
That's
just,
sad though,
yeah.
because that's like, but it is, you know, it is almost 100 years old,
Hmm.
you know, in 10 years. So it's obviously from a different decade, and we saw some trivia that, you know, people that you would never imagine that, you know, like, I don't know if I should talk about it, like Adolf Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
It was his favorite movie. Like
Yeah.
how a person that evil could love a movie like that. It's just insane.
Yeah.
But history, you know, is so crazy.
Yeah.
But I love, you know, I love to watch this, and I do get those points that you talk about, that
Hmm.
things that they wouldn't put in movies today
Yeah.
because it would be considered offensive
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but that's just the beauty of time moving
Hmm.
forward, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this was so much fun. I'm excited to do this again
Yeah,
and to
I think we're
see.
gonna watch a second one, maybe. But if not, let us know what you think. You know, of these reviews. It's not really a review; it's just a reaction of what we think,
A
because we just a
discussion,
discussion.
a
And once we're done with the Disney movies, or maybe even before we're done with the Disney movies, we could also do, if we watch, I don't know, any kind of movie, and maybe you could talk about them. But let us know if you
yes,
enjoy these
yes,
videos.
please do.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone so much. If this is your first time watching us and you've never seen any of our other videos, check them out. Give us a like, subscribe. We would love to see you all in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.